Justin Baldoni, the actor and director behind It Ends With Us, recently opened up about a deeply personal experience he faced in his younger years, revealing that he had experienced sexual trauma caused by a college ex-girlfriend. During a candid conversation on Elizabeth Day's How to Fail podcast, Baldoni, who is also known for his starring role in Jane the Virgin, reflected on the impact of this traumatic relationship and how difficult it was to acknowledge that a woman could take advantage of him. This revelation was significant, not only for the insight it provides into Baldoni's personal journey, but also because it addresses a topic that remains widely underrepresented: men who experience sexual trauma at the hands of women. In a society where there is still a stigma surrounding male victims of abuse, Baldoni's willingness to share his story sheds light on the complexity of trauma and the process of healing. Baldoni, 40, described how the relationship began when he met a beautiful young woman while attending Long Beach State University. At the time, he was in a vulnerable emotional state, grappling with feelings of inadequacy and seeking to fill a deep void within himself. This emotional struggle led him into a relationship that, over time, became emotionally abusive and manipulative. Baldoni spoke about how, in the beginning, he felt he was in love, but quickly began to lose his sense of self as his girlfriend began to manipulate his values, beliefs, and personality. The toxic nature of the relationship escalated as he found himself contorting his identity to meet her needs and desires, often losing sight of who he was in the process. Though Baldoni refrained from going into the specifics of what happened in the relationship, he acknowledged that there were moments when boundaries were crossed, and that he was emotionally and psychologically manipulated in ways that he later recognized as abusive. His feelings of confusion were compounded by the belief that men simply cannot experience sexual trauma at the hands of women, a notion that kept him from confronting the reality of his experience for many years. For a long time, he struggled with the idea that he had been taken advantage of, as this went against societal expectations of masculinity and the traditional narrative that abuse only happens when men are the perpetrators. It wasn't until he began therapy that he was able to start understanding the gravity of his experience. Baldoni's breakthrough moment came when his therapist asked him a simple yet profound question that would change the way he viewed his trauma. "Justin, you do a lot of work in this space. If a woman told you that story, what would you call it?" This question, although straightforward, was the catalyst that helped Baldoni finally recognize that he had indeed experienced sexual trauma. He described this moment as a turning point, one that led him to begin the difficult process of healing. It was the first time he allowed himself to accept what had happened to him and to see it as trauma. Baldoni reflected on how this experience had stayed with him for years, shaping his self-perception and his relationships. Coming to terms with it was not easy, but it was a crucial part of his journey toward healing. The relationship, which ultimately ended due to infidelity and cheating, had a lasting impact on Baldoni's emotional well-being. He admitted that for a long time he had carried the weight of that trauma with him, and it influenced the way he approached future relationships. However, Baldoni also credited the end of this toxic relationship with helping to shape the direction of his career. After the breakup, he moved to Los Angeles, where he pursued his acting career, which would eventually lead to his breakthrough role in Jane the Virgin. The experience, while deeply painful, was part of what set Baldoni on the path to becoming the actor and director he is today. It also served as a catalyst for his interest in telling stories that explore themes of emotional abuse, healing, and personal growth, topics that he has since tackled in his directorial work, including It Ends With Us. Baldoni's current family life is vastly different from the tumultuous relationship he experienced in his youth. He has been married to his wife Emily Baldoni since 2013, and the couple shares 2 children, Maya, 9, and Maxwell, 7. His relationship with Emily is rooted in mutual respect, understanding, and love, something Baldoni has worked hard to cultivate after experiencing a traumatic past. In August, Baldoni received praise from fans for a powerful message he shared with survivors of domestic violence, particularly in light of his film, It Ends With Us, which portrays a relationship marred by emotional and physical abuse. In his post, Baldoni emphasized themes of resilience, courage, and the importance of not just surviving, but thriving after trauma. His words resonated with many, as they acknowledged the strength required to endure and heal from such experiences. I want you to know that you are never alone in this fight. We are with you. You are not just surviving, you are thriving. And in your thriving, you inspire us all, he wrote in his heartfelt message to survivors. These words, though directed at domestic violence survivors, were a reflection of his own journey. The message spoke to the universal human experience of pain, healing, and the power of community in the face of adversity. For Baldoni, it was an opportunity to use his platform to offer support to those who may be struggling with their own trauma, reinforcing the idea that healing is possible and that no one is truly alone in their fight. As a director of It Ends With Us, Baldoni also opened up about the intense emotional strain he faced while working on the film. He described directing the movie as a very lonely job, acknowledging that the responsibilities of being at the top of the totem pole often left him feeling isolated. As a director, he was required to make countless decisions, manage the emotional well-being of the cast and crew, and navigate the delicate balance of portraying abuse authentically while maintaining the safety of those involved in the project. Baldoni revealed that the weight of this subject matter took an emotional toll on him, especially as he immersed himself in the mindset of his character, Ryle. Ryle is an abusive man who exhibits toxic masculinity and manipulative behaviors toward his partner Lily, played by Blake Lively. Baldoni explained that it was difficult for him to shake off the character's mindset after filming, as he found himself struggling with physical symptoms of anxiety and even experiencing dreams as Ryle for some time. "I had a near breakdown after filming one scene," Baldoni admitted. The scene in which Ryle finds a phone number on Lily's phone and becomes consumed with jealousy was emotionally intense for Baldoni to portray. "It was very hard, and honestly, that took a few months," he said, reflecting on how long it took to shed the psychological weight of playing such a complex and dangerous character. The emotional toll of portraying an abuser, coupled with the personal challenges of making a film about such sensitive material, led Baldoni to experience a deep emotional struggle. It was a difficult and transformative process, but ultimately he was able to move past it. However, not all aspects of the filming process were smooth. There were reports from insiders that suggested tension on set, particularly between Baldoni and some of the cast members, including Blake Lively. Sources claim that Baldoni's approach to directing the film was chauvinistic and borderline abusive, with some crew members feeling that he dismissed Lively's input during key scenes about abuse. This created a divide on set, with some women reportedly feeling uncomfortable with his behavior and lack of sensitivity to their perspectives. While Baldoni was focused on exploring the abuser's point of view, the sources suggested that this narrow focus excluded the female experience of abuse, which is central to the film's themes. The conflict reportedly led to a tense atmosphere on set, as Baldoni's unprofessional attitude towards the cast and crew raised concerns about his ability to lead the project in a collaborative way. Despite these reports of tension, Baldoni remains committed to using his platform to raise awareness about domestic abuse and to advocate for those affected by it. His work in It Ends With Us is a testament to his dedication to exploring difficult, real-world issues through storytelling. The film, which will be available on Netflix starting December 9th, tackles the complexities of abusive relationships and the emotional turmoil that survivors face. Through his own experiences, both personal and professional, Baldoni has gained a deeper understanding of the impact of abuse and the importance of healing, making him a powerful advocate for survivors. Baldoni's openness about his past struggles with trauma, both in terms of the abuse he suffered in his youth and the emotional toll of directing It Ends With Us, highlights the ongoing need for conversations about male victims of abuse. His willingness to share his story and reflect on his personal healing journey offers a powerful message to others who may be grappling with similar experiences. By speaking out, Baldoni has not only found healing for himself, but has also created space for others to do the same. His journey is a reminder that healing is a process, and while it can be painful, it is possible to move forward and thrive. As It Ends With Us prepares for its release, Baldoni's story serves as both a personal testament to resilience and a broader call for greater understanding of the complexities of trauma and healing. Through his vulnerability, he has become a beacon of hope for those struggling with abuse, and his advocacy work continues to inspire others to confront their own pain, find support, and embark on the path to recovery.